Hi, and thanks for joining me for this week's or last week's real estate report. So in Midland, in the last 7 days, we've had 8 new single-family homes come onto the market, and the average list price of those homes has been $807,927, and the average sold price for houses sold in the last 7 days has been $525,435. In Penetanguishene, we've had 5 new listings on the market. Average list price $842,671, and the average sold price in the last week has been $542,500. In Tiny Township, we've had 18 new listings come onto the market. Average list price for those homes has been $958,977, and the average sold price in the last week has been $1,144,668. In Tay Township, we've had 13 new listings. Average list price $701,792, and average sold price $773,318. In Barrie, there's been 56 new single-family homes come onto the market in the last 7 days, and the average list price has been $949,458, and the average sold price has been $807,942. And finally, in Aurelia, there's been 15 new listings, single-family homes, and average list price has been $712,765, and the average sold price has been $617,751. Hi, and thanks for joining me. So I'm going to do the intuitive reading for the week. I am using the Good Tarot this week as well as Wisdom of the Oracle. And for also this week, I've pulled out 7 cards, actually 14 cards, because I pulled out 2 for each day. One tarot card and one oracle card for each day beginning today. And before I get started, I just want to thank you so much for joining me and supporting me on my page, and I greatly appreciate it. And want to invite you to like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's get started. So the first 2 cards I pulled for Monday, it's very interesting spread this week, and I haven't done a spread like this before, but I'm always searching for a new way of doing things. I guess what I'm doing is searching for kind of my niche in how I do a reading and a flow with the cards. So I'm always trying out new things until something feels like it fits. So thanks for being on this journey with me. So the first cards I pulled for Monday today, so the 9 of Earth, which is Pentacles, and the Milk and Honey card. So the 9 of Earth or Pentacles represents coming to a closure or to the end of one phase. So you've accomplished a lot of things that you've been working on. I find that a lot of my readings tend to reflect the inside, what's happening on the inside, on spiritual level, on the energetic level, not so much in the physical. I think that's just because that's where my own attention is quite often. I'm always focused on what's happening inside, whether it's with my thoughts and my intentions or what's happening in here. Because I'm always setting the intention of spiritually growing and evolving, and tempered with what's happening in my outside and how is my outside world being reflected through what's happening inside. And sometimes there's all those things outside you can't control, and how am I responding to them? Where are my thoughts around those? Sorry, I totally got off on a tangent there. So back to the reading. So I see this as being a time to be grateful taking into account things that you've accomplished. So I am going to say yes, whether it is on a physical level, but I think it's more internally. So it's about patting yourself on the back for what you have done or how you have responded and the choices you've made and how life has been, things outside of ourselves have been happening. And so it's because and it's about you moving forward courageously despite things happening that want to push you down or hold you back, or that want to seemingly take you into a negative space. But you, being the strong, beautiful, bright light that you are, and having the awareness of choice and knowing you're not a victim, are choosing a higher path, or choosing to take these instances in the world and turning them into lessons and growing. How can I overcome this obstacle? How can I open my heart center and become a more forgiving person, forgiving of myself, forgiving of others, and more compassionate with myself and others, always with yourself first, and then it spreads out from there. So the milk and honey is appreciating all these obstacles that have been placed in front of you as stepping stones to a higher version of yourself. So for Tuesday's cards, we have Five of Water and the Breathe card. And there they are there. So these two work really well together. So the Five of Water is like cups. And so that is emotion, heart. And so this is about, the five is about transformation in a way. So it's about releasing sadness that is going to well up, because as we're always transforming, things are always moving and shifting. So emotions, that energy of these obstacles that had been placed in front of us are coming up to be acknowledged and released, and for healing, because we need to create space within our energetic bodies for more expansion. But it's a constant alchemy of energy within us. It's coming in, being processed, and then releasing, and it's just this constant wheel. And and what happens is that we can let the energies get trapped that need to be released. Because they're uncomfortable, we want to not acknowledge them. We want to push ourselves away from them. It bubbles up and we go, oh no, that doesn't feel very good. So we push it back down, we repress it. And then what happens is that things arise like anxiety, uncomfortableness in the body, dis-ease in the body, stresses, and then again, and it feeds into our thoughts, and our thoughts are going into the fears of the future and or thoughts of the past, and holds us in that, because that energy is trapped in our cells and in our body. So the Breathe card is a reminder to breathe through the sadness and the tears as they come up. They're there to show you where you are in your transformation, in your journey, and they're not going to hurt you. I know they're uncomfortable, but it's temporary. So you pull back from yourself almost. You detach as much as you can. Remember, you are not your emotions. It's a consciousness that is coming up to be released so that you can continue on your journey. And so by being aware of them and acknowledging them, you can just breathe, stay in your body, and just through your breath, that energy coming in, and just release them out into the universe to be transformed and transmuted into love and light. So Wednesday's card, the Six of Earth and a Deep Knowing. There they are there. So Six of Earth again is Pentacles. So and the six is like an in-between number. So it's about being open to help and knowing that you're not alone. And it's again relinquishing control on everything, things that you can't control, and just relinquishing that what you feel you can control, even though you can't. And it's about letting the universe do its magic and trusting that deep knowing that there's opportunities or gifts from the universe that are coming to you that you can't even imagine. They're surprises, things that you would never dream of for yourself, whether they be opportunities or just a blessing of some sort. So it's about blessings and knowing they're coming. Thursday's card is Nine of Air, which is mental. It's your thoughts and time for a nap. So to me, this card is definitely so this is about what we tell ourselves and what thoughts we choose to believe. Don't always believe your thoughts, okay? So remember that your thoughts don't control you. You control your thoughts. So whatever thoughts arise about yourself that are not for your highest good, question them. Remember that they're not real. They're just thoughts. You don't have to believe them. And if they're not for your highest good, you should not believe them. I mean, but of course that choice is yours. So just bring awareness to the repetitive thoughts that maybe keep you stuck and that hold you back. And when you, but don't, okay, so when you become aware of thoughts that you might have that you're not good enough or you're not worthy or good things will never happen for you, remember that that is a conditioned state of thinking that comes through media and people around us who are in their own place of non-awareness around their thoughts and themselves. So it is your job to bring awareness to that, your thoughts, your job to bring awareness to your thoughts. Did I just repeat myself? So the time for a nap card is to don't judge yourself or be hard on yourself for these things that you've been thinking, because then you're feeding into it even more, but just in a different way. So it's about just releasing them, giving yourself a break, really, from all of anything thoughts or beliefs that are self-imposed roadblocks. So time for a nap. Just give that thinking a rest. Don't judge yourself for those thoughts that are going to hold you back. Friday's cards, it's the sun and new life. And these two go really well together too, in my opinion, because the sun is about success. And it's a very masculine energy. It's about going out into the world. It's about embarking on a new path. And especially with that new life card. So to me, it's about seeds have been planted. You're making plans. You've been making plans about what you want to do. And it's almost like reinventing yourself. It's like it's time for a new journey, because we're never stuck with old ways of being unless we choose to be, unless we have the belief surrounding it that we always have to be this way or this type of person or live this life. There is an unlimited potentiality of ways of living your life. And it's just stepping outside of that. So this card is about actually doing that. But realizing, coming back to it starts in here, and it's about releasing old ways of being, and again, your thoughts around them and beliefs that you might have. So definitely new path, new life, reinventing yourself, new journey. Beautiful cards for Friday. Saturday, we have another Pentacles card. So we have Eight of Earth and No Place Like Home. Okay, so the Eight of Earth is about learning more, increasing your knowledge around a specific subject. So it could be something you've always been interested in. It might be something that's a hobby. It could be something you've been already involved in, or had an interest in, and maybe you've done some courses on, or you haven't, but you've maybe done some reading. But this card ultimately is about doing some more education to expand your knowledge base on a subject, to increase your skill level. And the No Place Like Home with that is it's about gaining that knowledge and gaining a greater sense of being comfortable in it. Okay, and so the final card, and I thought this was very interesting. We got two twos. So we got the High Priestess and we got the Yin card. And these work beautifully together because they're both feminine energies. So the High Priestess is about trusting the voice within, trusting your intuition. And the Yin is about allowing the information to come to you, which is again about intuition. So it's about stepping back, feeling the situation out, feeling what is right for you and how to move forward. So it's just about being in that power, your power, trusting it, and observing. So that's it. So thank you again so much for joining me. I love you, and I invite you to come back again next week. Until then, have a beautiful, blessed week. Bye.